Good afternoon, dear faculty members. I hope you all doing well. Yes, we'll start for the day. Prashant sir, you can take over the class.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Okay. Hey, thank you, Shishmita. Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. Hope all of you are doing great. Welcome back once again, everybody, to the last day of our FDP program. So today, as I mentioned, right, like we will be majorly working upon the like as I mentioned, like prompt engineering is one of the key thing which we are going to target. We are going to make sure that the prompt engineering is going to be completed, and then we will look into the responsible AI, the ethics of AI, like what are all the different things we have to implement if we really want to utilize the AI in a great manner and in a very ethical manner, like where you should make sure that the AI is working in such a way that it is responsible in society rather than impacting the society. Okay, that is another thing which we are going to discuss as part of our today's discussion. And if time permits, we will see other concepts which may also come up, and I will be able to explain all of them to all of you. And then, if there are any further questions from any one of you, I'll be able to take it up. Okay. So with this note, I will be able to go ahead and get started with our today's session. So give me a minute. Let me quickly share my screen, and then we all can be able to proceed further. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So, as I mentioned to all of you, right? So, it's all about we are currently discussing about prompt engineering. Yesterday, we covered LLMs, the large language models, and we entered into prompt engineering. Okay, so it's not something new, at least right now. So, whatever prompt engineering which we are currently discussing, right? So, this prompt engineering is already something which we have covered yesterday. Okay, but it was all like some types of prompts only we were able to cover. If you can all be able to recollect, so we only covered, like if you remember, we were able to understand the role-based prompt, like where we were writing the mail. Okay, where we were been writing the mail to head of engineering at Infosys, right? I have shown you that how you can be able to say that. you are an expert or you are a counselor who has helped a lot of people to get placed. So you put a role to your chat GPT, and then it is going to play that role and give you the results also as per that role only, rather than putting a very generic prompt. Right. So yesterday we have completed this role based prompt, and then later I've also shown you that how in the multi lines you can write the prompt. Okay. So we were also able to see like how in multiple lines. You remember yesterday we discussed about invitation, right? Like inviting the friends to the birthday party, like where we were able to create multiple invitations, and then we were able to see the responses. That's how like we were able to use the multi lines prompt. Okay. And then later, after completing that part, like we were being able to move into the tone based prompting, right? Like if you remember, like we took one mail where the employee is not completing the work within the deadline. So we used the tones. Like first we sent a generic one, then we were able to go ahead and send it like using a tone like caring and supporting tone, formal tone, right? Like that we were able to work upon the tone based prompting. That was another one which we were being able to work upon, like in the part of the like tone based prompting. So that was another thing which we were being able to discuss about. Okay, and then if you can all recollect, okay, we moved into the research perspective. Like as many of you were interested to know that how in the research domain we can be able to use it. So whenever you want to use it for research, you have to always say investigate. Investigate whatever subject you want. Yesterday we have seen how to investigate and like combine AI, okay, and then quantum computing, blockchain, and how it can help us out in the climate change. So it created one research paper for the same. Then we were able to discuss like how artificial intelligence can be implemented for ethical practices, like how you can bring some good morale to the society or some good use of the AI rather than misusing it. So that was another research topic which we were able to look into, and then it created the research paper along with the sources. So as I mentioned yesterday, right, research means it's always, I would say, it's a perspective. Like, I mean, it's going to give you a template only. So again, what I want to say here is whatever the research which you're going to do in ChatGPT is a good start, but it is not the only source. Okay. But yes, it will help you in a lot of things. Like rather than you typing down word to word, it will create everything in the research pattern or the format or a template, whatever you want to call it as. It's going to create everything for you, and then you can take that particular topic and can utilize wherever you actually want it. Okay, that's how, I mean, you can take any of the topic as you want and can be able to utilize wherever you want. That is how research here plays as a very important role. Like where you can investigate, identify what exactly is needed for you, get to know all the different sources, get to know all the different ways, like as I have explained yesterday. Then you can be able to see the benefit of whatever LLM you are using. I'm not only saying that it will work great in Chat GPT. You can even use the Microsoft Copilot, or even you can be able to use your Google Gemini. It's up to us, like how well we can be able to use it effectively. That is what we need to consider whenever we target about the prompt engineering in a better manner. So this is what I just want to make sure that you all should be aware about. Okay. So these are all are the topics we covered. And I also want to cover one quick thing in this case, as we are already in research, right? So anyhow, yesterday I ran some prompts. Okay, so you all got the better idea about it. But now I will also show you one more trick in research. Like if you are interested in any of the research, academic research, industry research, domain level research, anything you want to go ahead and do, that is up to you. Okay, how the yesterday whatever pattern I have shown you, you can be able to identify that. And one more thing, after investigating, you can also ask what is that which is unique in the research. Like what? Let me say you will say investigate. Okay, how the algorithm, okay, or let me say investigate how SHA-256 algorithm works in the machine learning model. Okay, then it will investigate, it will give you response. After giving the response, you should be able to ask what is that which is unique in this paper, so that you'll be able to know, right? Otherwise, if it is not a unique, if it is already been there, then why would your research paper would be accepted by any of the entities? They will not accept it, right? So for that reason, you have to investigate thoroughly, see what are all the unique points. Until you're not satisfied, then pick up some more topic and investigate it. And then afterwards, you create a research template or a research pattern, and then you proceed further with whatever you wanted. That is how you have to do it. Now, along with that, in research or people who write thesis, people who work for PhD, right? You have literature review, right? Ideally, you will get some literature review which you need to do. Like you have to go through multiple sources, multiple articles, identify what others have done. So you have to gather that in your literature review and you have to write it in a proper pattern. Just because somebody has asked you to create a literature review, it doesn't mean that you will go and do whatever you wanted. There should be a proper pattern and structure in which the literature review should be analyzed. And you have to mention the source also, like where you have gone through, from which paper. You have to mention that reference or a source. That is what I know most of you are already aware about in as majority of your faculties. So you know the pattern, you know the way how events do for your BTech project, tech project, and working for PhD, you may be applying this for your thesis, okay, or your for your research paper. So literature review is equally very important. I know research we already discussed, but let's see if you really want to do literature review, right? That too in a better manner, and you want to really get a good idea. Okay, for that ChatGPT, what it does is, like I'll take you back to the ChatGPT here. If you see in this case, right, okay, there is an option called as explore GPTs. If you see here, there is an option available called as explore GPTs. So if you click on explore GPTs, right? Okay, maybe I don't know, like if you are getting it for the free version, okay, but you get your explore GPTs, and then here you have plugins. Like these are plugins which we call it as. Okay, so you can also add plugin. Like, basically, what happens is, see, I'll say you what is the difference. The difference here is, yesterday you remember fine tuning I was explaining. Fine tuning means what? You are going to fine tune your model in such a way that it is only going to give you the answers which are related to your domain only, not elsewhere. So only with regards to your domain, whatever information you have, it is going to give you. Now ChatGPT is what? It is a broader. You ask anything, it gives you. Not only academics, you ask industry related questions, you ask a basic question, you ask a school level question, you ask a PG level question, everything it will answer it. Because ChatGPT is trained with a lot of information, as we know. But the problem here is sometimes, see, when you are a master of all the subjects, somewhere you may not be expert. You're getting my point, right? So if you're getting to know all the subjects, definitely you are a master in all the subjects. But when we want to go in depth, very deep into it, right, somewhere you will lose the track of it. Because a person, how much they can be able to learn. In the same way, one machine is being trained with a billions of data, and when you really want an expert opinion or expertise onto it, it takes actually time. It doesn't understand sometimes, not every time. At times, it may give you some weird answer, or you may feel that, hey, what is this? The answer is. Okay, so because those are been trained with a lot of things, it may not have everything available with it. But when you go to this explore GPTs, right, here there is an option. These are plugins. Plugin means, like for an example, these are being fine tuned in such a way. Okay, these are all being fine tuned in such a way that they are specifically being meant for certain purposes only. Okay, like you want to draw a picture. Okay, then you will have one tool. Okay, or one plugin, I would say. You want to create a content writing, a unique pattern of writing. For that, you will have a plugin. So, but now, if we keep discussing like that, that itself will be like around 5 to 10 hours. Okay, there are so many plugins available. But again, we don't need everything, whatever is available in ChatGPT. Our primary interest here is going to be the research perspective, because that is what I know most of you are interested about. Yesterday already we discussed the prompt and all. Today I will show you there is a plugin in ChatGPT which will be helpful for all type of research and for literature work, which is exclusively meant for research work only, not for any other purpose. That means it will only focus on research. It's not going to think through any other ways, like not like ChatGPT. ChatGPT itself is giving that plugin for us. So now in the search GPTs, I'm going to say consensus. Okay, let's see what it is going to do. Here, see consensus. See, ask the research, whatever topic you want, chat directly with the world's scientific literature. Okay, so now I will click on it. See, the moment I click on it, it says, hey, this is consensus. Okay, and for what purpose? See, You can write the articles. If it's academic papers, you'll get simple explanations. Only consensus is the model inside the chat GPT, which it is being trained in such a way that where it is going to give you the content only related to research topic. Okay, not anything else. So now you will say here, start the chat. Okay, now I'm entering into the consensus within ChatGPT. See here, it says that, hey, now you are into consensus. Ask me what you wanted so that I will be able to help you out with it. So always remember one thing, you always need to give the context first. See, how much ever clear you be with your prompt, that much effective, precise, and concise answer you are going to get it. That is what we learned yesterday in prompt engineering. I was saying number of times, the way you ask is very important. Accordingly, your answer is going to come. You will think that I will go and put it in general English. It will give you a general answer. How you put your prompt, accordingly, your response is going to be coming up accordingly. Okay. So that is the utmost clarity which all of you should basically be aware about. Okay. So now what I'm going to do in this case here is, so I will quickly go ahead. Okay. I'm going to quickly go ahead here. That I will first write a scenario. Okay, I'm going to say that, hey, my scenario. Okay, I'll put here, I have a scenario with me. Scenario is there a researcher is conducting. I'm putting a scenario so that my consensus plugin, which is available in ChatGPT, can understand in a better way. Okay, let us say a researcher is conducting a literature survey. Okay, I'll say literature is conducting a literature service, conducting a literature survey on the impact of LLMs, okay, on the impact of the large language models on natural language processing, okay, on, you can say, on the natural language processing understanding, so which is your NLP, I would say. Okay, we are using for this. And then, okay, we'll say they aim to gather and analyze. Okay, they want to, they want to go ahead, gather and analyze the recent studies, whatever the recent studies which has happened, right? Okay, they aim to analyze and gather and analyze all the recent studies that explore, okay, what we want to explore, that explore the advancements which are happening in LLM. Okay, so I would say that, like, studies that explore the advancements in LLMs. Like now I'll say particularly in what area you want. Otherwise, it's a broad one. Okay, particularly in areas such as, I would say, where I want it, in areas such as question answering, like how you ask a question, it's able to give you the answer, right? So first I want to know this question answering patterns, and then I want to know how it is able to summarize the content, like text summarization. Okay, I want to utilize it for text summarization and sentiment analysis. Okay. And then you see that here sentiment analysis. Now the researcher, I'm putting as much clarity as possible. Okay. The researcher intends to identify, okay, that is what? Key trends, and then your challenges. Okay. And then it is, they also want to know the potential, what are the future directions. See, when you do research, these are all are the things which you look for. I'm trying to gather and put all those things. Okay, I'm putting a scenario here. So they also plan to highlight. You can write it in your own way. Okay, I'm writing it in my own way. English can be up to you, but the gist of what I'm asking should be like important. Okay, so they also plan to highlight the role of fine tuning. Okay, I also want to know about the fine tuning and transfer learning in what? In enhancing the performance. Okay, in enhancing the performance of LLMs on various natural language tasks. Okay, natural language understanding tasks. So now my scenario, if you see here, right, what is my scenario here? In this case, I'm trying to say a researcher is basically conducting a literature survey. Great. On what? On what they are trying to work upon, the researcher, on the impact of large language models on natural language processing understanding tasks. Natural language processing understanding task means what? That is nothing but your plain English. You ask in English and you get the response in English. So here we are aiming to gather and analyze all the recent studies Okay, where that explore, I mean, you want to explore the advancements in LLM, particularly in areas like question answering, text summarization, and the sentiment analysis. Okay, so here the researcher wants to go and identify the key trends, what is happening here, the challenges which are occurring over here, and then the potential future directions, like how the future is going to look like. Okay, and please highlight the role of fine tuning and transfer learning in enhancing the performance of my LLMs on various natural language understanding tasks which are occurring today. So this is my scenario. Now I did not, I just said gave a scenario. So now in my prompt, I will say what my chat GPT has to do right now for me. Okay. So now I'll say, hey, go ahead, conduct a literature survey. Okay. Please conduct a literature survey on the impact of, okay, you can say on the impact of the large language models on what natural language understanding. That's what we understood, right? We can say on the natural language understanding tasks. Okay. Then we will say focus on recent studies. Don't go for very old one and then try to highlight it. Focus on the recent studies that explore what advancements. Okay. That is going to explore the advancements of what. So that will explore the advancements in question answering. Like that's what you mentioned in the context. You are interested to know about the question answering, and what else we were saying about, and then we were talking about the text summarization, right? That was another one which we were able to say. So one was the text summarization and sentiment analysis. Okay. And then you have over here sentiment analysis. Okay. And then you can say, you can please analyze the key trends. Okay. You can say analyze the key trends and challenges. Okay. In the field. And then I'm saying that, and please go ahead, discuss the role of fine tuning. I also want to know about the fine tuning with regards to literature survey and transfer learning. Okay. In improving what? In improving the LLM performance. Okay. I want to improve like LLM performance. For that, how fine tuning and transfer learning is going to play an important role is what I was able to go ahead and ask. Okay, now I'll say provide a summary. Okay, you can provide a summary of your findings. Okay, you can say, you can please provide the summary of your findings where you can be able to highlight the potential future directions. Okay, like you can say potential future directions for research in this area. So my prompt here is, I want to conduct a literature survey on the impact. Okay. So on the impact of large language models on natural language understanding tasks. So please focus on recent studies that explore the advancements in question answering, text summarization, and sentiment analysis. And do analyze the key trends and then as well as challenges in the field, and discuss the role of fine tuning and the transfer learning in improving the LLM performance. On what? On and naturally provide of your findings, highlighting the potential future directions for research in this area. So I have given a scenario here. If you see in this case, I was able to go ahead and give a scenario very clearly what I want and then the prompt. So now let's go to this consensus and then try to run this. Let us see what consensus is going to give us here. So first it says, hey, I want to go and talk. Okay, whatever prompt you have given. So are you okay with it? I'll say yes, allow. Okay, you can please go ahead. I'm going to allow you. So now this is going, see, it's first creating. Let it create first. Okay. So here advancements. Okay, so first it's just giving. Let us just give some time based on what we asked. It's able to go ahead and give everything which is needed for us. I'm just waiting until this gets fully completed over here. proper research content. Okay. So right now you see here, what happened is it was able to go ahead and create a template like literature survey on the impact of large language models on natural language understanding tasks. It gave us an introduction. It gave us what are the advancements which are happening in LLMs for NLU tasks based on very recent papers. See, the papers which were being picked up are from 2024. Okay, so it was able to do some literature survey on question answering, which I said that we want to know how it works. And then we said text summarization, where it was able to go ahead and pick the relevant sources, and then it is giving us the idea. Then you see sentiment analysis, where it picked out the relevant papers and it is giving us the responses, and then as well as the source also, from where it was able to go ahead and pick it up. Okay. And then the key trends and challenges. What are the key trends which are occurring in the LLMs with NLU tasks? And then the challenges which are being occurring currently, and then the role of the fine tuning and transfer learning, that how it is going to play a very important role. See, everywhere it has given you the source. It's not just giving whatever it wants, it's just going and picking up the right sources, and then it is letting you know that how you need to move ahead with. And then your future research directions, like what are all the things you need to do if you really want to explore and make this journey go forward, and then finally concluding the topic. And now whatever the content you read from here, or whatever the content you see from here, right, this is exclusively research related plugin, which is your consensus. I mean, see, I did not mention anywhere here yesterday, if you can recollect the concept, right, when I was writing about the research, it was not giving me links, it was not giving me the sources from where it is picking. I intentionally went forward and then said that, hey, please give me the source or references which are picking up. But here I did not mention anywhere. If you see the prompt very clearly, I ran a very prompt which says only talking about what I wanted. Here you see the prompt, it only talks about what exactly I wanted is what is being conveyed over here. Okay, apart from that, it has not even said even a single thing out of it. Okay, and then in the same way, you see over here prompt. This is basically your prompt is what we call it as. Okay, here you observe, right? This is actually your prompt which is present. That is it. But nowhere I mentioned I need a link, I need a reference, I need a source. But because you're using consensus as a fine tuning plugin, so it is able to go ahead and give you every response. And it is working like research oriented, because consensus is designed for research only. So it's able to go and give you all the response or output in the form of research itself. Nothing else it is been able to go ahead and give. So this is the clarity which every one of you should be able to maintain. So this is one more level in research. Yesterday, what we have seen is in the normal chat GPT, but today what we have done today is like we have taken the consensus plugin. Within the consensus plugin, first we have defined our scenario, like what exactly we want over here. And then later we are putting up the prompt, what exactly is needed for us. That's it. So these are the two things which we all should basically be able to consider. So this is the overall understanding which I just want to make sure that you all are pretty much aware about. Okay. So hope that this makes sense to all of you. So this is the clarity which we all should basically be able to maintain. Okay, hope that this makes sense to all of you. So this is the idea which I just want to make sure that you are aware about, so that we are covering the research in all the aspects. One in ChatGPT, anybody who is interested in plugin, you can take the plugin, just use it in the ChatGPT and you can run the prompt. Okay, I'm just showing you this prompt. If anybody is interested, you can take it up. Only thing what you do is you just change the topic as per your wish. I have taken LLM, natural language understanding tasks and all, right? You pick up whatever you want it, whatever your topic, right? You can just highlight that topic and can utilize it. I'm giving you 2 minutes of time over here, where you can just note down this prompt. If you wish, you can practice it. If not, you can note down the prompt which is present over here. okay, which will be helpful for you in the future if you really want to do any topic. See, now I kept NLU. You just replace this topic with the topic which is your interest. You can just go ahead and put it over there. Always give a scenario so that your GPT will understand in a better manner, and then you give the prompt so that it knows what is the scenario or the context or the background, and accordingly it will give you the relevant responses rather than adding any unnecessary things onto your message, whatever you are going to get it. So this is the clarity which everybody of you should be able to maintain. So please go ahead, take down the scenario, take down the prompt, and then try to apply if you wish. If not, you can be able to save this prompt for your future purpose, for any of your academic research work or thesis or PhD work. If you really want to do, right, you can utilize this. Just replace with whatever is your core domain or whatever is the work which you ideally do it. Accordingly, you can replace the topic. Okay. Can we be able to prompt to add architecture? No, no. Architecture as of now, Sonali, it's not great enough. Okay, for that, I will suggest that you please use the tool called as Miro, M-I-R-O. Okay. So Miro tool will be helpful for it. Right now, ChatGPT, Copilot, they're good to create images. Images are good, but it cannot create architecture diagrams which is needed for your research, right? So that is not allowed. I mean, it can create, but it will not be efficient enough. So Miro is the good tool. Okay, always use Miro, M-I-R-O. Anybody who's interested to create architecture flowchart, use Miro. Okay, so that is also AI tool only, which is advanced tool. So as it will not be covered over here, but just as you all have asked, right, I am just letting you all know that in Miro also you can write the prompt. You can write the prompt in Miro and then you can be able to utilize it. I'm just showing you the tool to everybody. If anyone is interested, you can access it. This is the tool, Miro. Okay, there also you have to write the prompt. Whatever prompt you write, it will create the architecture accordingly. But do not try to do it in ChatGPT because ChatGPT is not good in creating the architecture. Okay, perfect. Yeah, if you're using Miro, then great, Sonali. Okay, awesome. Cool. Yeah, please now take down the note of this prompt, everybody. Whatever I've explained for the research perspective, right? Please take down the note of this prompt. Then I'm going to take you to the next type of prompting technique. I have invested a little bit more time onto it, considering audience is all about the academic, right? So I kept little bit time more on the research so that this is something which will be very much helpful when you go back and then try to do the things on your own. Okay. So yeah, take a note of it and we will then move to the next type of the prompting technique once you all are done with it. I'm quickly giving every one of you 1 to 2 minutes of time. So please complete this off and then we will proceed further with the remaining prompting technique which are available for all of us. No, it will not pass. Plagiarism check will it be done, but there is a tool called as the zero GPT. Okay, there is a tool called as the zero GPT. Okay, there they can catch. Like what are all the tools which whether you have picked from the chat gpt or from anybody else. Okay, what happens is when you pick the content and put it in the plagiarism check, right, chat gpt content, it will not detect because generative AI means what? It is always the new content only. It will not be able to go ahead and detect very easily the plagiarism software or tools. But there is a tool called as Zero GPT. The Zero GPT has the capability to detect whether you have copied anything from the Chat GPT or from anywhere else. So that is another tool. Okay, cool, perfect. So please complete this, everyone, so that I will take you all to the next one. Okay, hope everybody has taken a note of it. Cool. Okay. So now what we can be able to do here is, like, as we are done with this one, the research type of a prompt. So I will take you to three different prompting techniques which are very important in prompts. Okay, when you talk about prompt engineering, right, without knowing these three prompting techniques, right, it's not going to make sense. So there are three prompting techniques which are being helpful for all of us, so which I'm going to show it to each and every one of you right now. So let's go and discuss what are those three prompting techniques. Okay, so right now what we did is we also were being able to look into the consensus, okay, which is the research plugin in ChatGPT for all of us. Okay, so this is very important. And now what I'm going to do here is we will discuss about the three prompting techniques. One prompting technique here is zero shot prompt, we call it as. Okay, zero shot prompt means what? Zero shot prompt here means, okay, when you want directly anything to be asked, like a generic one without any examples or without giving any context to ChatGPT, right? If you just want to simply go ahead and ask anything, that is your zero shot prompt. You remember yesterday when I said, write a LinkedIn message to the head of engineering at Infosys, where I'm aspiring or where I'm looking for a developer role in 100 words. That is a zero shot prompt. I mean, you didn't give any background, you didn't give any context, you didn't give any information to the chat GPT. Directly you are coming and asking whatever you wanted. Okay, so that is zero shot prompt. No examples are being provided. The model will, I mean, it will not give any prior examples, or it will not understand whatever you are asking as an example. Simply whatever you ask, it will go ahead, straightforward, give you the explanation. That is your zero shot. I'm going to explain you with the prompt also so that you all can get a better understanding. Okay. First, we'll complete off theoretically and then we will move ahead. Then we have, after zero shot, here another one in this case, which we have is the one shot prompt. Okay. Now, basically, what is this one shot prompt means? Here in the one shot prompt, at least one example will be given to all of you. Okay. In this case, at least one example would be provided. In one shot prompt, basically what occurs here is you will be given, or you in the sense the chat GPT model will be supplied at least with one example where it is going to understand that example and it is going to give you the relevant response out of it. Okay, so now you see here one shot prompt means one example. So what happens? You provide one example to set the structure, and then your chat GPT can understand. Then accordingly, whatever example you have been able to give to chat GPT as a one shot prompt, right? It will be able to go ahead and derive the response also in the same manner. So whatever you are able to go ahead and ask, it will be able to take that up and will give you the derived response based on the example or one example which you have given, right? Based on that one example, it will be able to go ahead and give you the relevant response. So that's the point which we all have to understand it. Then what else? The third and important prompting technique, along with what we discussed, zero shot and one shot here, is the few shot prompting. Okay, here, the next technique which we have here is the few shot prompting technique. Now, what is this few shot prompt here? In the few shot prompt, right, you are going to be like giving multiple examples in this scenario. Okay, you will go ahead and you will make sure that you are considering multiple examples. So here you are going to give certain examples, or like it's up to you, one example you give or two. Actually, one example means it becomes one shot prompt, but if you give more than one, like two, three, four, that's up to you how much capability you have. You can have those many examples. First, make the chat GPT model understand by giving multiple examples. Then based on the example whatever you have provided to ChatGPT, right, accordingly the next prompt whatever you are going to ask, the response is going to be provided in a way that how you were being cater or give the examples to ChatGPT. Okay, so few shot prompt here means you are going to give multiple examples. So it is going to take that multiple examples into consideration and then will be able to give you the relevant responses. That is your few shot prompting. Okay, where you are going to see that within your few shot prompt, you can go and see that whatever multiple examples you provide, accordingly, the next prompt what you ask, it is going to give you the response as per that. Few shot prompt will give you much precise answer, because in few shot prompt, what happens, you're not giving one, you're giving multiple examples. So your chat GPT will learn the examples what you're giving, and it is going to give you the better answer what based on whatever question you're asking in the form of the prompt. One shot prompt is also effective, but not as effective as few shot, because in one shot prompt you give one example. Based on that example, next prompt whatever you ask, it is going to give you the derived response for it. In zero shot, no example, nothing, you just go and ask whatever is needed, it will be able to give you the response. So now what I'm going to do here is I will show you these three things practically over the chat GPT, like what is the zero shot prompt, one shot prompt, and then the few shot prompt. Okay. So let's go and make sure that we understand with this with a prompt in a better manner. Okay. So I'm going to the again chat GPT. Okay. So let's open a new chat again. Okay. So now I'm going to open a new chat quickly from my end. Okay, so now my chat GPT is up and running, and you see that I am in the chat GPT version. So what I'm going to do first, I will run the zero shot prompt. For that, what I will do, I'll directly ask, okay, explain the impact of what I'll say climate change. Okay, explain the impact of climate change on global food security. Okay. So I'm just asking some random thing. This is your zero shot prompt. Neither you're giving any example, neither you're giving any context. You directly go ask whatever you want, and GPT is giving you the answer. Okay. I just ask explain the impact of climate change on global food security. It's just been able to understand my question, and whatever it has been trained with, it is able to generate the response at the back end. What is happening? Those transformers which we learned theoretically, right? It has taken the input from me as this. Okay, and then what is happening, it is able to go ahead and generate the response to me accordingly. So you see that here the response has been generated in this scenario. Okay, so you see here the scenario is like reducing the agricultural productivity, increasing the pest and diseases, decline in soil quality and water resources, fisheries and livestock disruptions, supply chain. I mean, see, the content, what it is giving is also required, but we don't need to go and read all these details. The point to be noted over here is this is your basically zero shot prompting, where you can see very clearly within this zero shot prompting, right here, if you observe in this case very clearly, you are just asking the prompt. That means whatever you want, you're just putting up that question, and accordingly it is able to go ahead and try to generate the responses for you. So this is the clarity which first of all of us should be aware of. Okay, so if you see here very clearly, this is the response which we are actually trying to achieve from here. So that is the clarity we have to maintain. So this is a zero shot, no example, nothing, just simply coming to ChatGPT, asking whatever you want and getting the response out of it. This is your zero shot prompting. Okay. Now I'm going to open another chat again, a new chat. Now I'm going to explain to all of you another prompting technique, which is one shot prompt. One shot prompt means at least one example will be provided. So what I'm going to do, I will say my topic. Okay. So I'll say the topic is the influence. Okay. The influence of what we can say. Okay. The influence of, we can say, social media on academic performance. Okay. We'll take one example for academics. So I will say the influence of social media on academic performance. Okay, that is my topic. Then I'm giving example. Okay, so you don't think that why I'm saying topic explanation and all. The only reason is I'm giving one example because it's a one shot prompt. Then I will ask the prompt that, hey, I'm giving you an example. So please give me the response based on the prompt, whatever I'm going to put it up. I did not put the prompt yet. This is an example. I kept a topic and I'm just putting some random explanation saying that social media, what it does, it affects, right? It basically affects the students' academic performance. Okay, I would say it's going to affect the students' academic performance by altering, that means by changing the study habits for them. Okay, and then by allowing them to reduce the attention spans. Okay, and then increasing the exposure to academic resources. Okay, so and then I would say while my excessive excessive use may actually lead to what? It may lead to obviously distractions. Okay, and it also makes sure that enables you to have the knowledge sharing. Okay, so now I will say at the bottom, this is my prompt. Okay, now using the similar structure. Okay, I will say now using the similar structure. Okay, explain how climate change affects the global food security. Okay, so now this is the one shot prompting, we basically call it as what is happening here. Topic is the influence of social media on academic performance. In the explanation, I'm trying to say that my social media affects the students academic performance by altering the study habits, reducing their attention spans, and as well as increasing the exposure to academic resources. Okay, now while excessive use may actually lead to distractions. So they will get distracted with what actually they need to do. Okay, and then it also enables the knowledge sharing. Okay, so now using the similar structure, explain how the climate change affects the global food security. Example, and then now I'm saying that, hey, similar structure, explain how this is going to work, how climate change is going to affect the global food security. Let us see what it is going to do for us. See here. It started giving in a way how I want it. First of all, topic, the impact of climate change on global food security. Explanation here is climate change affects the global food security by altering, see whatever words I'm using, okay, there in my example, it's trying to correlate them by altering the agricultural productivity, increasing the extreme weather events, and disrupting the food supply chain. While rising temperatures and unpredictable weather patterns may lead to reduced crop yields, climate change also drives innovations in sustainable farming practices. Okay, so if you are understanding the context, what I have given as an example will always be taken as a priority, and it is going to be able to give you the response. See why this is needed, I'll say you. Most of the times you expect one answer in your mind, but your chat GPT gives something else. I mean, it is sticking, but it is going to give you a lengthy answer, or it is going to give you something which is very lengthy, descriptive, and if you really want to go and read, it's going to be very difficult. So in that case, if you have something in your mind, give that as an example, which is a one shot prompt. Give that as an example how you want it, and then you ask the question. Then what your chat GPT will do is it will understand, oh, okay, this is what is expected. Oh, okay, this is what is being required from me. So accordingly, it will go ahead and will be able to give you the relevant response. Like whatever topic you ask, accordingly, it will be able to give you the explanation, and then you can be able to see the response. Like what exactly you want to cover or what exactly you want to know, accordingly the explanation is going to be given to you. So this is the clarity which we all should basically be aware about whenever there is a topic and explanation. So basically this is your one shot prompt, we call it as. You give one example, ask any prompt, and accordingly it's going to adjust and give you the answer related to it. So that is the clarity which every one of us should be aware with regards to one shot prompting, I will say. And then moving to the few shot prompting. Okay, so we have seen in the few shot prompting what I said, you can be able to give multiple examples. You can give multiple examples, and accordingly to those examples, it will go ahead and give you the better answer. Okay, so what I will do here is I'll go to the previous one and let's take the same example. Okay, so let's take the topic, open a new chat, and I'm gonna put this one. Okay, the influence of social media on academic performance, and I'll say all the social media effects, and then what we can do is we'll take up to till here only, just to make the difference. Okay, we'll go up to academic resources. That's it. Okay, next, what I'm going to do here is the few shot means what? Few shot prompting is multiple examples. Okay, so at least we'll take one more example over here, and I'll say the role of artificial intelligence in education. Okay, the role of artificial intelligence in education, and you can just put underneath this the explanation. So you can write whatever you want. So I will say AI enhances education by, I will say, what else? By personalizing. Okay, by personalizing you to the learning experiences. Okay, and then it will automate your assessments. Okay, so it'll be able to go ahead and automate the assessments for you, and as well as, okay, it will also help you to providing the data driven insights. Okay, so it will also go ahead and provide you the data driven insights for educators who are interested in it. So basically, AI who uses in the education, that will personalize your learning experience where you can depend on yourself. It will automate all your assessments, whatever you are basically working upon. And it will also give you a clear and proper data where you can use that for insights with regards to educators. Like you can use your data very well and can plan it effectively. Okay. So now same, nothing changes. Just I have taken two examples and I'm going to say the same thing now using a similar structure. Okay, now using a similar structure, I would say that explain how your climate change is going to affect the global fraud. Okay, or I will say explain how the climate change affects the, in the previous case, we were able to take the global food, we can say global food security. Okay, so now I'm saying that I'm gonna put it over here. Yeah. So now using the similar structure, explain how climate change affects the global food security. So you see that this is your topic and explanation, one example, which we have already picked from the previous one. And then I've given another example because this is a few shot prompting. Few shot prompting, at least minimum needed two examples. Anything more than that, that's up to you. Now I'm saying now using a similar structure, explain that the climate change is affecting the global food security. Okay, so let's go try to run this and see how it is going to give us the response. See here. Okay, topic, the impact of climate change on the global food security. Climate change threatens the global food security by disrupting the agricultural productivity, altering the rainfall patterns, and increasing the frequency of extreme weather events. These changes to crop yields affect the food supply chains and lead to high food prices, making access to nutritious food becoming more challenging for vulnerable populations. Very crisp, very precise, based on whatever you have been able to give. See, now if I take the previous one, the one shot prompting, see, one shot prompting also was very good, but it was not great. It's a good. One shot prompt is good because, as I said, you gave only one example. Your chat GPT was able to pick up that one example and it was able to match very closely to what example you were being able to give as the one shot prompting. But now when you go to the few shot prompting, right, in the few shot prompting, it is very clear that when you're giving multiple examples, it is understanding very, very betterly. And then it is able to go ahead and give you the concise and only to the point answer rather than deviating here and there. Okay, that is the beauty of using the few shot prompting. So like this, you have your zero shot prompting where you don't need any examples. So I'm going to take this over here and put it over the Word document. Okay. So whatever we ran right now here is basically your, I would say it is your zero shot prompting where you don't need any examples over here. Okay. Then later I was able to go ahead and explain to you the one shot prompting. In the one shot prompting, what I made it here to all of you very clearly, if you see in this case, right, in the one shot prompting, like whatever the topic you see over here. Okay, so you give one example and then you say that in the similar structure, I need whatever explanation you want. In my case, I said how climate change affects the global food security. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is this is my one shot prompting. And then after which we had a few shot prompting. So the purpose of the few shot prompting here is like you will have multiple examples. Either it may be more than one, that it may be two, or it may be three. That is, I mean, again, up to us, like how we want to take it up. Okay. So here you see, like you have multiple examples and then the relevant prompt. Okay. So let's go and put it over here. This is your few shot prompting. Okay. So let's say this is your topic, and then this is our prompt. Okay. So I'll just reduce the size a little bit so that you can see the entire prompt in one go. Okay. So you see here, you have here your zero shot prompting. Okay. And then you have here your one shot prompting. Okay. And then you have here your few shot prompting. Very, very important. When you start giving some examples, right, it is going to work very effectively. That's the significance of it. So I highlighted it in three different colors. Make sure that you take a note of this. The zero shot prompting, which is in yellow, and then your one shot prompting, where you give one example, which is in green, and then you have your few shot prompting, which is in purple, where you have two examples given, and then you are asking the prompt. So please take down the note of this. I'll give you around 2 to 3 minutes of time. If this, you can run it even in your chat GPT also. You don't need any paid version for this. Whatever free version you have, you take any example on your own. I have explained about the climate change on global food security. I worked upon the social media on academic performance, and then artificial intelligence in education. Okay, so you can take any examples and ask the relevant prompt and see whether it is giving you the response as per the example, whatever you were being able to provide in one shot and the few shot prompting. Okay, so please complete this, acknowledge it over the chat. Once you are done with it, then I will be able to take you all to the next prompting technique which is required for us. So please complete and do let me know, everybody. Yeah, if you wish to put license of ChatGPT means it's a paid version. If you want, you can pay. Now, I mean, I'm not suggesting that you have to do Dr. BK Verma. If you really are interested to purchase, you have a subscription. For that, you have the ChatGPT 4.0 model. Okay, 4 Omni model here. You see that here. ChatGPT 4.0, which is your Omni model, we call it as. This is a subscription based one, which will be like again, you have to pay some $20 to $22. Okay, 20222. That is $20 to $22 you can pay in order to get the subscription. Okay. If I increase the font size, the problem which is occurring here is like it's not coming in one single page, at least for this one. That is the reason. Okay, I'll try still. Maximum, yeah, this is what I can do. Otherwise, it will not come in one single page. Okay, but I hope this is good for you. Okay. Sheikh Shamir, yeah, I think XLR team will send that to you. Okay, no problem. Okay, done. Good job. Thank you for acknowledging. Yeah, you can use it for sure. You can use it. Like you can, I mean, you can use your chat GPT for making mathematical models also by using any engineering concept for sure. But the efficiency and the accuracy of it is not that great when compared to generating the text contents of it. Okay. So definitely it will help you. I'm not denying that. But how much level of accuracy or with the quality it comes is the question. Okay. As far as I know, as per the research, it is 85% efficiency, but that there is a scope for 15% variance. So that is the only drawback. But again, in the upcoming models or in the upcoming versions of ChatGPT, maybe that is going to be eliminated slowly. But yes, you can do that. Okay, so please complete everybody. Last 1 minute I'm giving to all of you to take a note of this prompt. And then I'm going to take you all to the next type of a prompt technique. Okay, hope that you all have completed it. So now taking you all to the next part over here. Okay. So now we will do the comparative prompting. Okay, so how your comparative prompting is going to play as an important role, we'll have a look into it. Okay. Yeah, today it will be pasted, Saida. Okay. Today they are going to upload it. So don't worry. Yeah. Zafar will take an example. Okay, let's complete off the main part and then I will explain that to you if there is any prompt which you want to have a look into. Okay. So now what we are going to do here is the next prompting technique will be the comparative prompting technique. Okay. So the next one which we are going to have here is the comparative prompting technique is another one which we will be looking into right now. So as part of the comparative prompting, right, we will see how to compare any of the data with the help of the prompt. So that is something which I'm going to explain to all of you right now. So let's go and have a look into the comparative prompting. Okay. So let's quickly open the new chat. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do right now in this case is we will just have a look into some comparative prompting that where you can compare. See, I'll say, please compare and contrast. Okay. You can start with please compare and contrast the following. I mean, if you have anything in your mind, you can also be able to put that over here. So please compare and contrast the following. So what I'm trying to say, hey, please go ahead, outline the similarities. Okay, what are all the similarities you have, and then the differences. Okay, outline the similarities, differences, what else, and then I can say characteristics. Okay, so you can say I need the characteristics, and then what else, functionality. Okay, I need even the functionality also. And what else we can think through? I'm just thinking through that. Okay, functionality is one we can think through, and then key takeaways also. Okay, key takeaways and as well as other factors which I may not be knowing about. Okay, I will also put and other factors, okay, into one table. Okay, I need it in the form of a tabular or a table. Okay, into one table. Now what are those options which you want, like which what are all you want to compare and see? I'll say here are the two options to compare against each other. Okay, so I will say in this case, So here are the two options to compare against each other. Now, what are those? One is, let's say, Apple Music, another one is Spotify. The prompt remains standard and constant like this. Only thing is you can highlight some of the features over here. Okay. And don't worry, but still we kept other factors also. So it will take everything into one table. Okay. And then here are the two options to compare. What are those two things I'm comparing? Apple Music and Spotify. So now you can take any other topic as a comparison. You can take any other topic here as a comparison, and then you can be able to look for it. So I'll say here are the two options to compare against each other, Apple Music and Spotify, and let me know which is better for music. Okay, I will also say that which is better for music. Let's go and try to run this and see potentially what output it is going to give me. Okay, let's see. Okay, started. Feature. Okay, first it's giving some key things. Let's just have a look into these things first of all. Let it fully get created for us. See, previously what used to do, you have to go to Google, check it out, like what's Apple features, pick up all of them, and then what is the Spotify features, pick up all of them. You have to do analysis and then pick it up. But here, what you're trying to do, you're just writing a simple prompt based on what product you want, and you're saying that please compare and contrast with regards to all the features which you want, like similarities, differences, characteristics, functionality, key takeaways, and all of these points which are actually trying to take it up. And then you're saying that what are the two options which are needed, like here Apple Music and Spotify, which is better for music, you're saying. So here, if you observe very clearly, it was able to go and give you the best things. And it's also saying, you see, choose Apple Music if you prefer really high quality audio, deeper Apple ecosystem integration, better lyrics display, and music videos. If you want to choose Spotify, okay, if you value AI powered music recommendations, social features, or free tier and broader device compatibility. I mean, you can choose Spotify or you can choose Apple Music. It is giving you that what is your interest. I'm letting you know what is unique in Apple Music, what is unique in Spotify. Now it is up to you. Which one do you want to go ahead and choose so that it can help for you to take it up further? Okay, so if somebody is not having time to go through all of them, anyhow, everything is present. See, music library, both of them have over 100 million songs. Key takeaways, both have extensive. Then audio quality, if you don't want to go through both, see, key takeaways, Apple Music provides higher quality audio option. So here Apple Music is leading. Then free tier, no free tier, only a trial period. Here free with ads and lower quality. So Spotify has a free version, Apple Music does not. So here Spotify is having the upper hand. Then subscription cost, both of them is having the same pricing. So nothing changes here. User interface, you see, Spotify is more intuitive for discovery, while Apple Music integrates well into your Apple ecosystem. So Spotify is having the good user interface. Music discovery, Spotify has better AI driven recommendation. So it gives you some good recommendation using the AI based on what you usually listen in the form of songs. Okay. Offline listening, both allow offline listening for paid users. Okay, lyric display, Apple Music has a better lyric features, so that is having upper hand here. Integration, Apple Music is best for Apple users. Okay, Spotify is more platform related one. Podcast support, Spotify integrates music and podcast better. So Spotify wins here. Against social features, Spotify is better for social engagement. Again, Spotify is leading here. Device compatibility, as Apple is only limited for Apple systems, right? So Spotify is having full accessibility. Here also Spotify is winning. So everywhere you see, Spotify has a little bit upper hand when compared to Apple. So, but again, it just doesn't mean that Spotify is leading everything, so you have to take it. There are certain parameters where it is your personal interest, where Apple Music is doing that as a great job. Then you can prefer Apple Music. But what I'm trying to let you know here is I am not imposing that what to choose for you. Either you choose Apple Music or either you choose Spotify. That is up to you. Okay, that's not the criteria here. The criteria here is to make you understand that how you can compare and contrast and can know the key takeaways with all the features, and you can also ask for the which one is the best version or which one is actually better, so that you can be able to adopt and can choose that and can take it up further. That is the main intent behind it. Okay, if you see here, that is how you have to play around with this one. So which one is better is up to you. Like, I mean, it see here also ChatGPT is very intelligent and very diplomatic. It is not letting you directly saying that, hey, go and choose Apple Music. It's giving you option. Hey, if you are having a greater interest on high quality audio, deeper Apple ecosystem integration, that means you have Apple gadget with you, or you want better lyric display and music video, simply go with Apple Music. No, if you are really interested for AI powered music recommendation, some social collaboration, a free tier, and a broader device compatibility, that means it's not for Apple only. It can be applicable even for your Android mobiles, for other devices also. Then you choose Spotify. Now it's your call which one you go ahead and opt for. That is ultimately your decision. That this is how you can run a comparative prompting. This is what we call comparative prompting, where you can compare and contrast by taking different products with whatever characteristics or whatever features you want. You can highlight them, and then you can be able to go ahead. Now you may ask me why other features have come up, because I also mentioned provide me differences, characteristics, functionality, key takeaways, and other factors in one table. And other factors, I kept other factors. Other factors means it will also go ahead and check rather than whatever you asked. Instead, it will also pick up something which is very important for you also to see. And then your product, whatever you want, you can highlight and see which one is better. This is what we call comparative prompting. I'm giving everybody 1 to 2 minutes of time. So please complete this comparative prompting also. Okay. So this is basically your comparative prompting. Let me take the prompt and put it over for here for all of you. And let me increase the size of this one. Okay, so this is your comparative prompting. So please go ahead, take a note of this prompt, or if you wish to run it in your chat GPT, you can do that. I'm giving each and every one of you 1 to 2 minutes of time. Please run this comparative prompting based on whatever product you want. I have taken Apple Music and Spotify. You can pick any product on your own and do some comparative prompting, and you can check the results of this. In the paid version, you will be getting it, Zafar. Okay. In the free version, as I said you right, yesterday the accuracy is only 70%. So you may not get it exactly. Okay. But when you go with the paid version, it will exactly match to what you wanted. Okay. Perfect. So comparative prompting, I hope all of you are done with this. Okay. I'm assuming that you all are done with this part. So now what I'm going to do here is, as if you are done with the comparative prompting, so let's have a look into what is sentiment analysis. Okay, sentiment analysis is another prompting technique where, I mean, you should be knowing that what exactly is the sentiment analysis, where it will be very much helpful for us to read the information in a better manner. Okay, that is what we basically call as the sentiment analysis. So what I'm going to do here is, let's put it up over here. Okay, which is the next prompting technique in this case here is sentiment analysis. Okay, so this is another one which we are going to look into right now. So sentiment analysis here means, I'll just open the new chat. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do in this case is, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll go to any of the browser. I'll make you understand what exactly is sentiment analysis. Okay, I'll go to any Amazon online shopping. Okay, I'll make you understand why I'm trying to do this so that you'll get a better idea or the picture behind this. Sure, like Amazon online shopping, I'll say Amazon online. Let's take any iPhone. Okay, let's go. I'm just taking some random product. Okay, so that we'll get a just the access to that product. So okay, so let me do it. Yes, so here I have the product. So let's go to the people who have given the rating here. Okay, I'm interested in that. Okay, let's go to the product. Let's keep scrolling down to the reviews or comments which are being provided for this gadget, which is your iPhone 13. Okay, let's keep scrolling down. Okay, see, first thing is, let's go to the people who are given a very negative rating. Okay, let's go back again. I don't want to log in. Okay, so I just want to pick the information. Okay, so there is content. What content? Yeah, here this is little better, I think. People have written such a lengthy. Yeah, okay, this is good. Let's take this. Somebody has given a review. Okay, let's take that into our chat GPT. Okay, so that review, I will take it up. Okay, and I'm gonna put it in my chat GPT over here. And then I'll say, please do the sentiment analysis. Okay, I'm gonna say over here that please do the sentiment analysis. And let's see what it is going to say us. Please do the sentiment analysis. Okay, so let's just have a look that how it's going to. Right now, it's analyzing. Right? So let's understand. There is one review being given by the one of the person for the iPhone 13. Now I'm saying that to my chat GPT, I just took whatever that person has given as the review. I've just taken that and I've pasted, and at the end I said, please do the sentiment analysis. Okay, see, the sentiment analysis says, okay, majority or not majority. So the little bit 0.19 part is positive. Okay, and then subjectivity, that's moderate, is 0.534. It's explained first what the sentiment analysis, and then finally it says overall the review expresses excitement and satisfaction with the upgrade, while also providing a balanced mix of personal experience and product evaluation. That means it's more like a neutral. So organizations use this. Multiple organizations use this for the feedback. Whatever feedback are being given by the end users with the product, right? They will take that and they will see that how the sentiment analysis is being calculated. That means, see, nobody will have time to go through what you have written in a very detailed way. Okay, they will definitely will not have time, right, by going through all reviews one by one and then reading it. Simply all those reviews will be accumulated and into the chat GPT or any of the LLM platforms it may be, and then they will be said as please do the sentiment analysis. That's it. The moment you say do the sentiment analysis, then your model, your chat GPT will be able to go run everything at the back end and it is going to give you the response. That whether if it is moderate or whether if it is negative or whether if it is positive, all of those results are going to come into the picture. That's how you can do sentiment analysis for your product and can always be able to see that how the reviews are being provided. That's what, see, if you see, this is all like four, but again, just I'm giving you some example where you all can be able to understand it in a better manner. So for that reason only, I just have explained. Okay, I wouldn't want to go ahead and log in, so I'll just try to remove this off. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is how you can basically do some sentiment analysis and can be able to identify it. Okay. And at the same time, you can take any of the other review also and you can be able to do this. So I'll say like you can say like sentiment analysis can be, okay, I'll say for an example, there is a basketball. Okay. This basketball, okay, deflates. I will just say that it is always going to deflate after just one game. Okay, I'm just saying that my basketball is not performing well. It's always going to, whenever I'm playing, right, it's getting deflate. That means the air in the basketball is always just going out. I don't know why. So let's say, please do the sentiment analysis for it. Let's see how it's going to react over here. Okay. Please do the sentiment analysis. Let's just check it out. Okay, so it's performing the sentiment analysis for the statement what I have written. See here, negative. Polarity is negative. The review has a negative sentiment, expressing totally dissatisfaction with the basketball durability. So you see, overall, the review reflects frustration or disappointment with the product due to its short usability. Because of the performance of the product, the user is not at all happy. This is the sentiment analysis, which we call it as. Okay. Sentiment analysis here means you can see that you can put any review or any comment or any statement and you can say please do the sentiment analysis. It will be able to go ahead, understand whatever you have written, and accordingly it will say whether if it is a neutral, positive or negative. And then accordingly you have to then see how you can improve as the as you are the one who has introduced the product, right? So you should be able to take care of it. That is how you can do the sentiment analysis and can see the results of what exactly you actually want. So this is the main clarity which we all should basically be aware about. Okay, so hope that this makes sense to all of you. So this is the understanding which you all should be aware about. Okay, that's it. You just need to say please do the sentiment analysis. You don't need anything else apart from it. Okay, so this is the point we all have to understand. Okay, so please do this the sentiment analysis part. And meanwhile, I think who asked me this question, Zafar. Okay, you asked me about the that some engineering model and all, right? So I mean, how we can ideally do. That's the point. Like, see, basically, your GPT will always give you the option where you can always be able to go ahead and do that. So, what I can do is like I will say, like create a, okay, I'll say here, create a mathematical model for what I can say, okay, for fluid flow, okay, for in a pipeline. This is a fluid, I mean, engineering topic you said, right? I could recollect the fluid mechanics. Okay, create a mathematical model for fluid flow in a pipeline using differential equations. Okay, I'll making it much complex so that whether it can do it or not, we'll see. Okay, and then please here include key parameters. Okay, you can say include the key parameters like what? Like you can say like I need velocity and I need pressure and what else? And I need pipe diameter. Okay, because that is also important. Okay, so I would say pipe diameter and friction. Okay, so and now I'll say provide me. Okay, you can provide here equations. Okay, so here you can see that I can provide equations and you can provide here assumptions and then the real world applications. Okay, so you see, you can create here a mathematical model for the fluid flow in a pipeline using the differential equation. So you can say include the key parameters like velocity, pressure, pipe diameter, and friction. Now provide me equations, assumptions, and the real world application. So let's try to run this and see how it is going to react. Okay, this is what you were expecting, right? See, mathematical model for fluid flow in a pipeline. Assumptions is the fluid is incompressible, the flow is steady state, the flow is one dimensional along the pipe is horizontal, the effect of viscosity and friction are considered. Now see, equations are created here. Okay, the governing equations, like here you see the continuity equation and the differential form equation. Now here all the equations are being created for the fluids. Then how the momentum is captured, what is the theorem which we are using here, the Navier-Stokes. You see that again the formula is being generated accordingly, where it is saying the P is pressure, mu is dynamic viscosity, F is the frictional force. Okay, for a fully developed laminar flow, I mean, I'm not talking about the subject here. What I'm trying to let you know here is it has the capability to go ahead, give you whatever engineering model you, mathematical model you want to go ahead and have, everything it is going to go ahead and create for us. And you see that it is happening right now in front of us only. The mathematical model is getting created automatically based on whatever we are being able to go ahead and ask. See the real world applications in oil and gas industry, it is used. Water distribution system, it is used. Cooling system, chemical processing, biomedical engineering. So everything, whatever I asked, it's able to go and give me the mathematical model based on whatever engineering concept you ask. It will be able to give you the response. Hope that this makes sense to you. Okay. So yeah, this is how you can be able to have a look into the information. Okay, just as you asked. So thought of running a prompt and you can be able to see that. Okay, so perfect. I mean, if anyone is interested, you can have a look into creating a mathematical model for engineering concepts. Even ChatGPT helps you in that also. Okay, right now I'm showing you. But before this, what did we do? We completed the sentiment analysis. Okay, so comparative prompting is completed and sentiment analysis also. So now the last prompting technique which I want to cover here is the chain of thought prompting. Okay. So you have another prompting technique over here called as the chain of thought prompting technique. Okay. So here you see it is called as the chain of thought prompting. Now, what exactly is the chain of thought prompting? Okay. So that is something which we all should be able to have a look into right now. So I'm going to explain to you exactly what is the chain of thought prompting. See, chain of thought prompting is always needed for logical reasoning. Whenever you want to ask logical questions to chat gpt, right, it is always important that you utilize your chain of thought prompting in an effective and in a better manner. That is actually the significance of the chain of thought prompting. So for example, I ask some logical question to my chat gpt, it will answer and it will give you the response. But the only thing is, how did I get that response? You should definitely know, right? So for that, you have to use chain of thought prompting. So let me run one particular prompt and so that you all can get a better understanding over here. So let me go ahead and create a new chat. Okay. So what I want to do, I'll put some logical reasoning question so that you all can understand it in a much better manner. So I would say what I can say. Okay, I'll say I went. So Yeah, I would say I went to the market. Okay, I can just say over here that I went to the market and bought 10 apples. Okay, I can say I went to the market and bought 10 apples. And then here I gave 2 apples to the neighbor. Okay, I gave 2 apples to the neighbor and then 2 to the repairman. Okay, so then what happened? And then I then went and bought, okay, I'm just putting some logical reason over here. Okay, and then I bought 5 more apples. Okay, I then went and then bought 5 more apples and ate. Okay, and then in that ate how much? I have ate one. So how many, okay, I will say now, how many apples did I remain with? So if you ask this question, right, definitely your ChatGPT will answer, but it will only give you the answer, exact answer. But what I want to know is what has happened, like how it actually has arrived to answer. So then I will say, let's think step by step. I would say here, let's think step by step. Whenever you say, let's think step by step, okay, whenever you say let's think step by step, the main reason when you say let's think step by step, that becomes chain of thought prompting. Your chain of thought prompting significance is that it will go each and every step and will give you the response, like what exactly you want to see. So, in the same way, when you say here let's think step by step, it will be able to go through each and every step of whatever you have asked, and it is going to give you the response accordingly. So, I'll say enter here. And now you check it out in this case. Initial purchase, see, you bought 10 apples. Given away, you gave 2 apples to the neighbor and you gave 2 apples to the repairman. So total apples given away is 4 apples. So out of 10, 4 has been deducted. So you're left with 6 apples. Then additionally, you went ahead and you bought 5 more apples over here. So then you initially had 6, and to this 5 more apples got added, that is 11 apples. So from there, you ate 1 apple from your end. So 10 apples. Ultimately, final answer is 10 apples. So it's not just letting you know that the answer is directly 10 apples. Instead, it is explaining in a very clear way that to like one by one, it is able to go ahead and give you the response. That is what we call chain of thought prompting. So whenever you say, let's think step by step, not only this question, you have any logical reasoning question. Okay, you have any logical reasoning question with you, you can go ahead and ask that question, and accordingly it will give you the response. So when you say let's think step by step, it will always be able to go ahead, go through step by step, and will give you the response in a way how you are able to see it on my screen as a result. This is what we call COT. In short, it is a COT, but otherwise it is overall chain of thought prompting, which we basically call it as. So this is the clarity which I would just let all of you know that you should be able to understand with. Okay. So yeah, this is one of the very important point. I just want to make sure that you all are pretty much aware about. Okay. So chain of thought prompting here means you put any logical question and say, let's think step by step. It will be able to go ahead and give you the result in a stepwise manner where you will be able to see the result based on whatever you. So this is the clarity which every one of you should be able to understand and should be able to maintain it. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is, if you see very clearly with this, we are done with our chain of thought prompting, which is our last prompting technique for today. So I'm going to put this prompt on the Word document for all of you. So please take this prompt. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute to 2 minutes of time. So please complete this, and then I'm going to explain to you the ethical aspects of the Gen AI. Okay, which would be the last topic. So please complete this. I've just provided the chain of thought prompting over here. So you can quickly go ahead, take a note of this prompt, or else you can run this prompt in the chat GPT and see the result, like how the chain of thought prompting is working. Okay. After this, we will move into the responsible AI or ethical aspects of AI, so that we all can understand that how ethics play as a very important role in the AI or in the Gen AI. Okay, that's the clarity we all have to understand rightly. So please complete, everybody. I'm going to give you 1 to 2 minutes of time for all of you to complete this off. PDF output of the result of ChatGPT. Some equations are not pasted as it is in Microsoft Word. Hey, if you wish, see, you can just say that for an example, the model which we worked upon, the fluid flow model. Okay. So if you go to the fluid flow model, which we worked upon, okay, I mean, here if you say, can you please, okay, create the PDF document for the same. Let's see what it is going to do. Yeah, it's just going and creating those equations for us. Okay, but I am assuming that it is creating a document. Okay, let's see what it is going to do. See here, there is a copy option, right? When you say the fluid model, see now here there is a copy option in this right hand side. Copy button. You can just click on the copy button and you can copy the content whatever you want it. And it will automatically be copied in any of the Word document, Word or OneNote or whatever you want it. Okay, so you say, can you please create the document or PDF document for the same? So you have an option towards the right hand side. There is a copy button where you can copy the content and can have it wherever you actually want it. Format and all, see, format of the equation, it may change. Okay, format may change that at least we need to do it, right? Like, exactly as it is, if you really want it, sometimes it may come and we may not come. That's the reason. Okay. So if I could copy this, okay, let's open the Word document. Okay, so you're saying this pattern, right? Like where it is not able to copy the equation appropriately when you paste it in your Word document. Okay. So we'll then say the same to ChatGPT. Okay. So let's say what's happening over here. Hey, I'm not able to paste the equation appropriately in the Word document. So you please, okay, you can say, so you please help me with creating a document which I can download here itself. Okay, this is like conversation you're going to have it. Let's see, it's going to then help you out. See, it's creating some PDF. Meanwhile, let it get created. I'll come back to it. Okay, meanwhile, let it get created and we'll come back to this. So what I'm going to do right now here is we will quickly move on. Okay, we'll quickly move on to the last topic for today, nothing but our responsible AI. Okay, which is all about the ethical aspects of the AI, which is needed for all of us. Okay, so I'm going to show that to all of you that how ethics here play as a very, very important role. Oh, sorry, my screen share has stopped. Okay. If you see here, first of all, what is responsible AI? Okay, responsible, when you talk about the responsible AI, right? What we need to understand over here is responsible AI is about making sure that your AI systems are created and used in a very ethical and moral way. That means responsible AI will have all the rules and guidelines present inside it. Okay, it's going to have all the rules and guidelines present inside it, and it is going to work as per that. It will give the value to all the human value, and then it is also going to play in a better manner. That's how it's going to have a better rules and guidelines. That's how the responsible AI works. So in a very short way, I would say your responsible AI means you're developing and using your AI system in a way that is really fair, safe, and it respects all the type of people. Okay, and as well as their rights also. Okay, so now what I want to say here to all of you is one of the very important points. See, basically, when you use your AI, one in the recruitment system, let us say, in the recruitment system, sometimes it shows the gender bias. Let's say some AI systems which are used for hiring, right? It might favor one gender over another, which is really unfair and biased. So we should avoid these type of things. Then image recognition system, what happens, an AI system will help you to recognize the images, okay, which might not detect some type of images correctly, so where it will ignore some important ones, and that may also create a problem. So image recognition system, when you're using, it should recognize every type of an image. It should not ignore any image where it felt that I don't want to consider that image. So you should not have those type of things. Every image should be appropriately recognized without having any concerns or constraints. That's how image recognition system should work upon. And then you have your chatbot over here. Chatbot again hate text. You see, a chatbot might accidentally generate or respond with inappropriate or hateful language, which can actually harm the users. So never try to promote any chat bot which will have the hate text involved in it, so that it will impact the human beings who are reading the content. So we should always make sure that the text is not going to get impact, and that to never try to introduce any hateful language or inappropriate language to anybody, otherwise it will become very offensive. And then Gen AI. See, right now this problem is slowly overcome. I mean, remaining problems also slowly we are overcoming it. Gen AI sometimes will cite the non-existing data. Like a Gen AI system might make some, it will create some facts on its own, and it is going to provide the information that doesn't exist, or which can also be very misleading. Today, the accuracy is increasing continuously. They have reached more than 90%, which is a good thing. But at times there may be a chance that where you see that the data is not existing anywhere, but it is going to show that as information to you, which can be actually misleading. So that is another thing which every one of you have to consider. That is your Gen AI. I mean, in a very at a high level overview, if I would say, like, these examples are letting you know that AI system can make mistakes. It can also be biased. It can ignore some important information. It can also use some offensive language, or it can also give you wrong information. So that is the reason responsible AI is very important. Responsible AI will make sure that these problems are basically not occurred, or these type of scenarios are never been occurred, so that the end users are not getting offensive with the AI. Okay, and you see here it's been very clearly mentioned, as AI becomes more advanced. Okay, if you see here, as the AI becomes more advanced, right, your shift towards your generative AI, whatever is happening, where you're creating text, image, audio, video, and all, there are really some growing concerns about how it might be misused, or how it can be led to discrimination. So we need to be very, very powerful and very careful with whatever AI we are trying to today implement it. And you know, the Sam Altman, who is a CEO of OpenAI, who has developed the ChatGPT overall. Okay. So that person had said, if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong. So if you see, it's very clear. If this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong. So that means you have to control and use all the ethics, be very smart, be capable enough, be very careful about how it is being used, so that you are not creating or causing any serious problems by using the like generative AI. Okay. So that those are really very, very important points. As I said you, right? See, this is how the bias will come. When you're training your data, okay, when you're training your data with any of the model, it may be ChatGPT, Copilot, or any LLM models, it may be. What is going to happen when you train your data with 1 million male resume and 500 female resume? So automatically, what is going to happen? the AI system might learn to favor male candidates over the female candidates. That's when the bias is going to occur. So when you're training your data, be in a more balanced approach. Always make sure that you're taking either, if it is 500 male, it should be 500 female, so that you're not giving the scope for your model to go and favor any one community or any one gender. So you should train the data in a very balanced way so that your model can always give the better result to the end user rather than having any partiality or the bias in the model. So that is how this is going to play as a very important role. Okay, and then if you see here very clearly, okay, if you see in this scenario, right, like why this is going to play a very important role. Okay, so in this case, like one of the important point which I just want to say here is, why do we need here the responsible AI? Okay, why we need it? When you see in this case, right, there is bias and discrimination. So basically, AI can sometimes make unfair decisions that will favor one group over another. So your responsible AI will help you to prevent this. Then at times there are privacy concerns also present over it. So privacy concerns means, as I say, AI often uses a lot of personal data. Okay, so your responsible AI ensure that this data is protected and it is not misused. Okay, just give me 1 minute, everybody, quickly. Okay, so you see privacy concerns, right? As AI uses a lot of personal data, responsible AI will make sure that your data is protected and it is not misused at any point of time. Then legal consequences. Let us say if your AI system breaks, okay, if it is breaking the law or violating any rights, okay, there can be serious legal problems. So responsible AI will help you to avoid these issues like GDPR, okay, global data protection regulation, or our data in like data protection rules. It should not avoid it should not compromise them, otherwise there will be a legal consequence on top of this. And then you have the loss of trust. If people feel that AI is unfair or unsafe or not working properly, they will stop trusting it. So responsible AI also will help you to build and keep the people trust in the AI systems. That is the reason we need the responsible AI. Okay, but how do we implement it? The last one for today, how do we implement the responsible AI? Through ethical principles. Okay, you have to make sure that everybody is following the rules, that make sure that your AI systems do the right thing and are very much fair enough. They're not trying to deviate or they're not trying to move away. Then you have the data quality, where it will use a very good and balanced data. Rather than having any biased data, it should always be able to have the good and balanced data so that it can always give the better results without impacting or helping us to give us any wrong decisions. Then you have transparency. Here you have to make sure people know how the AI systems are working and how decisions are made. So whatever decisions it is giving, it should be really transparent in what decisions it is giving, rather than getting I would say, rather than moving towards the majority and trying to get impact. Always give the decision in a very fair and in a good manner. And then consent and compliance. Get the permission from people before using their data, and then follow all the rules and regulations. As I said, you right, you have GDPR, you have data protection rules. You always need to comply them. Without taking the consent from the users who are using the data, right, you should not be able to go ahead and implement anything from them. Monitor and improve. Okay, keep checking your AI systems to make sure that they are working well, and improve them if needed. So it's not like once you built your LLM and you're left with that. You have to keep updating with the progress, like how you keep going, right? You have to keep updating it. You have to keep improving so that it works in a better and in an efficient manner. Right now, the world is rapidly moving. Accordingly, you have to adjust everything. And always humans should be there in the loop. You have to ensure that always the humans are involved in important decisions which are being made by AI to keep all the things fair and safe. If you really want to make the things move in a fair and in a safe manner, then ensure that always humans are involved in important decisions so that you are not giving the entire discretion for your machine and your machine will keep going and doing whatever it wants. No. Always make sure that you are putting also who is always looking into whether the things are or not. So that is how your ethics in the AI plays a very, very important role. How much important it is for you to learn all the topics, right? Accordingly, whatever ethics which are needed for your AI, right? That is also very, very important. For that, your responsible AI plays a very important role, which we have captured over here, all the points. And you see here the core things. Okay, so this is very, very important. Why we need responsible AI explained to you and how to implement it. So with this, we totally complete this FDP. Okay, so we have totally completed this FDP with, with all of these topics which are being present over here for all of us. Okay, so this is the understanding which we should be able to have. It's here. There was somebody who asked me, right? Here the PDF has been generated. You have to talk to a GPT, then it will be able to do for us everything. It will be able to go ahead and make it ready. See, my PDF is ready. Okay, so I can just see that my fluid flow pipeline PDF has been created. Okay, and then you see that your equations are being very clearly mentioned. Okay, it will always have the capability to create, and you can see all your results which are being present over here. Okay. So, yep, that's how you can see that all your results are being provided. So with this, we are done with our entire faculty development program for the generative AI, where we started on Monday and it moved up to today. That is Friday. I hope that you all have thoroughly enjoyed whatever the concepts I've explained to all of you. So with this note, I say that I completed whatever has been discussed on the day one as an agenda. And I'm assuming that you all also got benefited with the generative AI, what ChatGPT is going to give as an output, then prompt engineering, running multiple prompts, and then research perspective, which is very important for the academics. And then we moved into whatever questions you asked. I tried to cover all of them over here. And then finally, we ended up with the responsible AI. So I took most of them prompts which are related to your academics and industry so that you all can get benefited out of it. Now, here is where you don't put a full stop to this journey. Keep exploring, keep moving so that you all can get the major benefit out of it. Okay. I hope that you all have thoroughly enjoyed my sessions. Thank you all for your active participation, staying around till the last and then trying to listen and understand it more effectively. Thank you once again for all your patience and for all your questions which you were being able to ask. Keep rocking like this, keep performing, keep learning so that all these latest technologies, you will never lose a track of this one. Okay. So with this note, I end my session. If there are any questions, maybe in a minute or two, I will answer that and then I will hand it over to XLR team. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for the wonderful feedback. Thank you. Yeah, it's completed. We started on the last Monday and today we are done with it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. The people who have really felt wonderful and great. Thank you so much for all your wonderful feedback and the responses. I'm happy that you all got to know a lot of things. Glad for that. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
I see that there are no questions. Okay. So again, just thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. And over to you, Shushmita. Thanks, participants. And thanks, Shushmita, for facilitating.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable class. All these Fridays are more effective and this is going to help for our faculty members as well. Thank you so much for your valuable and precious time. So thank you, sir. Yeah, so dear faculty members, I know you people have more questions to be asked related to the certificate. Like certificate, we are providing like we need at least 10 working days. Within 10 working days, you will receive your certificate for your register mail ID. Okay? Whatever the mail ID which you have registered in Excel, for the same mail ID, we will share the certificates within 10 working days. Okay. And some are asking for the attendance link of day 1 and day 2. We are so sorry we are not able to share those attendance. I already inform you every day, like the attendance you can mark only in 1 hour, like 4:30 to 5:30. After that, we can't share and even you can't mark an attendance. Okay, thank you all. Thank you for joining this wonderful session. Thank you so much. We'll meet again on a different STP or FTP. Thank you all. Have a great day. Yeah, thank you, Prashant sir. We are winding up for the day.
Thank you, Sushmita. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.